December 16th, in the Christmas story of how Winston delivered Christmas. Chapter 16. Teamwork. "And where do you think you're going?" said the man sternly. He glared at Prue from behind thick round spectacles. On his jacket, a badge saying "Security" glinted in the moonlight. "Hide!" hissed Prue. Winston slid down from her back and hung upside down, clinging to the fur on her belly. Prue covered her surprise expertly and began to purr loudly, weaving in and around the man's legs and rubbing her shoulders up against the door. The security guard softened. "What do you want to be going into this big shop for on Christmas Eve?" he said, smiling and bending down to tickle her ears with a thickly gloved hand. "It's locked up tight for the holidays now. I just double-checked all the doors myself." He jangled a big set of keys cheerfully. "Now, go on. I think you should head back home. Your people will be wondering where you are. Go on. That's it. Shoo!" And very gently, he guided Prue away so he could finish doing his final check of the front door and head home for Christmas. Prue purred again and made a great show of walking nonchalantly down the road with her bushy tail swishing very casually behind her. When they were a safe distance away, Winston scrambled onto her back again. "What are we going to do now?" he squeaked in alarm. "That man said the whole place is all locked up for the holidays." "We'll think of something," said Prue. Winston suddenly squeaked, "Wait! I can smell something!" He gingerly stood up on Prue's back and sniffed the night air. Yes, there was definitely something. His whiskers were wobbling, so Winston knew it must be important. What was it? He sniffed again. He smelled of nice things: flowers, soap, cookies, candy canes, and lots of other rich and delicious aromas. It all seemed to be coming from inside the department store. But where was the smell escaping from? Was there a window open? Winston let his nose twitch and sniff until it found exactly the direction they needed to go. "Down there!" he cried, and he pointed at a very dark alley. It wasn't appealing to go down such a forbidden passage, but Prue and Winston both knew that their mystery letter writer depended on them. Prue picked her way down the passage. She could smell something now too. Eventually, Winston told her to stop. He carefully slid down her silky fur and landed on the snowy ground. "Here," he said. "The smells are coming from here." He pushed his way forward and revealed an air vent only a few bricks up from the floor. "I think this is a way we could get in. We can follow the smell through here until we get into the shop, and then we can find our way to Father Christmas. Hopefully, he won't have gone far." Winston assessed the situation. "We need to get that grill off," he said. "Can't squeeze in through those tiny gaps." Prue agreed. She reached a paw out and tapped the air vent experimentally. Both she and Winston jumped as it made an unexpected rattling noise. "It's loose," whispered Prue. "Can you get it off?" asked Winston. watching with interest. I'm not sure, said Prue. What we really need is something to undo these screws with. He stopped rattling the grill and had a good look at it up close. I wonder. There was a flash from one of her paws as a claw suddenly appeared. Winston gasped. It looked so sharp and shiny in the shadowy moonlight. He leaped backwards away from it. Oh, don't be such a silly sausage, Prue said. I'm going to see if I can use my claw as a screwdriver. She delicately turned the loose screw, and eventually it clattered out of its hole and fell onto the snowy ground. Hurrah! Winston hooted. Can you do the other ones? Then we can get to Father Christmas. Prue tried her hardest on all the other screws, but they were as tight as glue. It's no good, she said. They won't budge. Winston sighed. But, said Prue, if I pull the grill forward, you might just be able to squeeze behind it. The gap certainly looks about Winston's sized. Winston nodded and clambered up Prue's back again. He sucked in his tummy and plop! He landed gracefully-ish behind the grill. Oh, bravo, Winston! Bravo! Poured Prue. Here's the letter. She carefully slid the envelope through the gap to him. Well done. That was excellent teamwork. You'd better get a move on, though. You don't want Father Christmas leaving without you. Aren't you coming with me? He said. Prue smiled. I'd love to, but I can't squeeze in there with you. My bottom's much too big. I'm afraid you'll have to do this next bit on your own. In the distance, church bells chimed the passing of another hour. Goodness, cried Prue. I had no idea it was so late. I'd better get back to my people. They get into a dreadful state when they can't find me. Thank you, Prue, said Winston. You are the nicest cat I've ever met. And you are the nicest mouse, she replied. Now hurry along. You got a letter to deliver. Winston set his whiskers at a very determined angle. Waving over his shoulder at Prue, he set off the dark tunnel into the shop. Prue watched him until she couldn't see him any longer before trotting off into the night.